This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social, and I'm delighted to be joined by the advisor and the trainer of Dave Allen. Darren, how you doing?
Yeah, very well, thanks. It's a good press there. Good to see Barry at the on the top table. These like the kick. If you was to go in the dictionary and look up promoter, it would say Barry Earn, wouldn't it? He's just so charismatic. He could talk for England, let alone promote for England. So yeah, it was good. No, it was and a very respectful presser. No tables being flung around or no screaming and shouting. And it was good to see. Refreshing.
You just mentioned that we're down here obviously for the announcement of Dave Allen's fight with David Price. Just talking about why you guys have decided to take David Price on at this stage of Dave's career on the back of the Lucas Browne victory.
Well, do you know what? We just had a chat about future opponents. I've got another one now. Just constantly pulling faces at me, everyone, man. It was just about. We tried to we weren't overlooking Lucas Browne, but we believed. I hate when I'm trying to say we. I believed. Dave would beat Lucas, and just we was looking at potential fights, and David Price has been someone that Dave Allen's wanted to fight for a while, and now he feels it's the right time. Not because David Price is shot or anything like that. It's just a good domestic fight, and it's a good domestic win, which will increase both fighters' rankings if they were to. Whoever is to win, but I think the timing's right for Dave Allen now. It's the White Rhino's time.
You mentioned earlier that David Price's fight with Cash Ali, he maybe wasn't able to get up for it, and he needs a big fight. We've all saw what he can do back on the big stage when he fought Alexander Povetkin. Do you feel that this is the type of fight which will produce that sort of performance from Pricey in against Dave?
Yeah, do you know what? I think it is, and the main reason for that is other than it being a big domestic fight, which it is. People can laugh it off. I know it's not for the British title of that, but it's two big names. The reason I think it will bring the best out of David Price is because it's really his last throw of the dice. I mean, if he was to lose to Dave Allen, you have to really, really think about retiring, and that I think he would say that himself. It's a must-win. So it will bring the best out of him. And like you said, against Povetkin, we've seen how dangerous he can be. He nearly beat a very good Alexander Povetkin. So we will expect the best David Price to turn up. But I do think. And do you know what? It's weird, actually. It's kind of weird being the coach of the opponent for David Price, because I shared a room with David Price and numerous times representing England. We shared a room in the European Championships in 2004 in Croatia. So now be advising and helping someone beat him just seems strange. But I've got to do what I've got to do. I'm a fan of both of them, but I do honestly think timing's right for Dave Allen.
Who made the tea?
Pardon?
Who made the tea?
I'm smaller than him, so I've done as I was told.
Obviously, with David Price as well, he possesses the height advantage, and he has a big knockout power in his right hand, which everybody's spoken about throughout his career. We saw with Dave against Lucas, the first couple of rounds, you slowed to get going, took a few too many shots. Before the fight, you said that was something you was wary of with Dave before he fought Lucas. If he was to do something like that, if he was to maybe drop his hands or allow David Price to land on him, is that something that you're concerned about because you know the power Price possesses? Yeah,
of course. He has to be a lot tighter, especially with he got caught with a couple of uppercuts. So I want him to close the guard a little bit. So we're going to be working on that an awful lot, and moving his head a lot more. That was something that we did at the build-up for the Browne fight, was to get moving his head really quickly and frequently, and he didn't do it in the first two rounds, which was a little annoying, but he did in the third, and we were working on that shot, so I want him to do a lot more of that. But it's about being smart. Obviously concerned about David Price's power, but that's what makes this fight so interesting, the fact that either guy could get knocked out, and that's saying something, because Dave Allen's got the chin of a rhino. He doesn't get wobbled. I think he's only really been wobbled against Yoka, who was obviously juiced up to the eyeballs. He's just so durable, he's so tough, and he will have to be against David Price. And most importantly, he can't switch off. He's got to stay switched on. He's got to listen. And I'm Joe. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good journey. It's going to be a good journey. If you can get past David Price, then you're looking at another big fight. and then you're not far off, really, are you? You know, it's crazy. Well, you never know what's around the corner, but I think it's about winning well now. No one wants to see a bore. People want to see good, dramatic, explosive stuff from heavyweights now, and that's what I will be training Dave Allen to be able to do. Be explosive.
David Price's durability has come into question over his last few fights. Is that maybe something that you guys are considering? Get through those first 3 or 4 rounds, and naturally David might tire. Yeah,
I mean, look, it's not rocket science. I'm not going to say here, look, we're going to go early. We will try and set the pace. You can't stand at arm's length against David Price. So all of this stuff, you know, when trainers say this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. You know, oh no, sorry, we're not going to tell you what we're going to do. Blah blah blah. Look, it's not rocket science with David Price. You don't want to get caught. So if you're standing at arm's length, you're in the danger zone. So it's about being out of range or being close, extremely close. So that's what we will try and do. We will try and get Dave into the later rounds. If it comes early, it comes early. But it's about being switched on, be alert. Don't do anything silly in the early rounds and try and get to Dave mid to late rounds, yeah.
We've also had just over a week now to reflect on his victory over Lucas Browne. Your thoughts?
Yeah, like it was the 3rd round over the moon. The first 2, not so much. If David fought like he did for 6 rounds, then got the stoppage in the 7th, I'd have been furious, if I'm honest, because it would have been a waste of time. He would have got the win, but like I say, I've seen him do amazing things in the gym. I've seen him move his head really quickly. I want to see him do that on fight night. He's got to transfer all this great stuff he does in the gym, you know, under the lights on the night. And what I was most pleased is we were working on different combinations, slipping on the outside, throwing the right hand, slipping on the inside and throwing the left of the body. So when something comes off that you've been working on, it's fantastic, and it just shows that he's got the boxing IQ, the boxing brain to be able to pull these things off. Now, this is another obstacle, another task, because of the size. 6'8" is David Price. You know, he has that pedigree. So, he's going to have to be on it. So,
we saw you rocking a 3-piece in the corner as well. Is that something that we're going to expect for future fights?
Nah, do you know what? I was messing about. I tweeted the other day saying I want to wear a 3-piece in the corner, but I wouldn't do it. Chris Eubanks has already done it, and I don't have a sheriff's badge, so I can't do it. Nah, I'll be a boring tracksuit trainer. Actually, the board tweeted me the rules, a little paragraph in the rules saying you've got to wear a t-shirt or something like that. So even if I wanted to wear a suit, I can't. Which surprised me, because it just shows you Chris Eubanks Senior can do what he wants. Because he was in the corner, wasn't he, with a suit on.
Finally, just your thoughts on the headline event on July 20th, Oscar Rivas and Dillian Whyte.
Yeah, do you know what? It's interesting, isn't it? I'm not going to lie and say I know a great deal about Rivas. I know that he was a good amateur. I haven't seen a great deal of him as a pro. I have since the fight was made, and he can fight. I'm telling you now, he can fight. Not the biggest heavyweight out there, but they're confident. You know, they're very confident. But I just think Dillian's experience and momentum, you know, he's on a great run of form, and I think that would be the difference.
Well, Darren, as always, I appreciate your time. Thanks for being to Boxing Social.
But his memory card ran out, so this is the 2nd time I've done this interview.
He's lying. Cheers, Darren.